We got some juicy details in this week's Project Zomboid news. There are so many cool things to discuss that you're not going to want to miss in this one, so stay tuned. The beginning of our blog post this week starts with a huge update on the crafting/machinery systems that are being implemented in Build 42. They are creating new dev systems and systems for modders, which will make the implementation of new crafting trees and devices much simpler. This is going to add so much depth to the new engineering and electronics in the game. These new systems will revolve around the concept of components. Burglar alarms will of course have speaker components for the sound they make and a motion sensor component. You will be able to take these components out and use them for your own separate reasons, like attaching the motion sensor component to some lights in your base as a way to warn you when trouble is close, or use the speaker component to create a way that you can flip a switch and lure zombies from your base or even into a trap. Every component will of course have an associated UI so that you can control them individually. Just imagine the catalog of all the different components the modding community will come up with, along with the further additions from the devs for endless machine possibilities. All of this is definitely going to add value to the electrician and engineer careers in this game. You will be able to take different components from different machines across the map and combine them to make more useful creations. This will make industrial areas more valuable locations for looting. Another really cool thing this system will bring is the fact that we will no longer need to mess with water collectors on roofs in order to connect it to our sinks, and we won't be just placing a generator next to a building and then it suddenly works. We will now be able to use pipes and wires to connect these things, making it all so much easier and more realistic. The next topic of discussion this week is that the IndieStone team, which many of you know are the devs behind Project Zomboid and are based in the UK, have hired a quote-unquote actual real American to their team. His name is Patrick, and he has worked on games like Tomb Raider, Tony Hawk, and Ratchet & Clank. His main role in the development of Project Zomboid will be the implementation of Ragdolls. This is such a cool idea to me, and I think it will make Project Zomboid that much more awesome when it's introduced. Just imagine zombies flying everywhere as you zoom through a group of them in your car on the highway. Another thing Patrick will be able to do for the team is answer a lot of questions about how America looked in 1993, since he's the first American that they've had on the team in a while who actually remembers that year. Up next, they show us this great video detailing more features of the new animal tracking system. This new system is super realistic and goes so much in depth. As you can see, you'll use the investigation tab to search for animal tracks. When you inspect tracks, you'll be able to tell what animal they came from, how long ago they were here, and which way they went. You can also inspect animal dung. For the smaller animals, you can catch them in traps, but for the bigger animals, you'll have to sneak up on them and make sure not to be spotted. If all goes well, this is when you would take your shot. The last quick couple things for today are that they are making holsters visible finally. This is something that I've always wanted. They are also adding a new shoulder holster and military webbing. The webbing adds 2 hotbar slots for your knife and walkie-talkie, and also more storage space than a fanny pack. You'll be able to find them in the appropriate areas and on appropriate zombies. Also, new clothing. And finally, if you want to purchase the new Spiffo plush from the IndieStone on Makeship, all of the proceeds go to the Queensland Cancer Council, which sounds like a great deal to me.